Okay, so let's have a look at the trades first. My trades are still looking quite reasonable. Still in my phantom long, 453%. I put on an atom long this morning before I went to the gym. That's currently up. I'm staggering my entries on this on a long, 10x long. I went into a dot yesterday on a limit order. That quick flash crash got me in on the 618 as well, which was great. I'm currently still up 600% on my V chain, so we're still looking good. So let's have a look at Bitcoin because it is doing monumental things. So what was my last video yesterday? My last video, I think I made one right here, and I was looking at this yellow line saying that this is what Bitcoin has to contend with. This is resistance until it's not. And it had a bit of contention here, paused a little bit and then shot right back out. And then we had that flash crash and Coinbase went down. We came down to retest this line and then away we went. So looking good. You know, if I was to back out my fibs, let's draw the fib using the Gantt swings, and if I was to move it to the top right here, so bottom to top, you can see we broke out. Yeah, we broke out. It wasn't much resistance, as I mentioned. Came out, retested, and then away she goes. So yeah, kind of goes to show how great these 50% and 618s are. I love the 618. And then your stop loss would have went down here. So yeah, you would have still been in on that Bitcoin trade. So let's see what Bitcoin does. So let me move to the monthly because I want to have a look at this because this is crazy. Bitcoin is doing some crazy things. It's doing some things I never thought would happen, and it's going up faster than I could have predicted, than any TA person could have predicted, to be honest with you. And that's just the name of the game. That's just how it goes sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So this is Bitcoin on a monthly chart, yeah. And from what I can see, this is the largest month Bitcoin has ever made going long. So like this is a 52% bar here on the month. If we're able to actually close above here, 61k381, if we can close that by the end of the month, which is in 15 hours, that will be the largest, it's going to be the largest monthly close Bitcoin has ever made. So I'm comparing it versus here versus here. If it closed higher than here, then it's the largest monthly close. So yeah, Bitcoin's making history right now. It's making history. Look at this, the amount of months that it's gone up. It's gone up so fast, so quickly. You can see that we had that 50%. It paused at the 50%, shot up. Even on this monthly bar, it doesn't even look like the 618 was able to contend with it, or the monthly swing, which is this white bar. It's just shot straight up. It's just showing crazy strength. So Bitcoin's doing wonderful. Yeah, so I just got to also remind myself, like Bitcoin's been doing this, these 20% pullbacks, just 20% pullbacks throughout this whole bull cycle really. 20% here, that was over 2 months. 20% here, that was over 2 and a bit months. And we did a 20% here, but that was only 2 weeks. So we've been getting 20% pullbacks really, and that's it. That's all we've been getting. So yeah, it's just something to sort of keep in mind. If we was to get a 20% pullback from here or the all-time high up here. So from the all-time high, if it was to get there, 20% pullback would bring it down to like 54k. And if we were to get a 20% pullback from where we are, then that will get us to 50k, about 50k, which is at the top of the 618, which would be nice to sort of see, but we're not getting it. We're not getting it. So trends are still up. Trends are still up. If I fling on my WD Gantt swings, yeah, we haven't broken down any swings. So even on the 4-hourly, we didn't break any of these swings here that I was keeping track of. This swing wasn't broken. This swing wasn't broken. This swing wasn't broken. This swing wasn't broken. So when we came back and retest, we didn't break any of these swings here. So the trend is still up. Trend is your friend until the end. You know, trend is your friend until the end, and then the breakout, and it's just all systems go at this point in time. So yeah, so looking to some alts really. Yeah, I got in on a couple of alts. Got in on DOT because I thought there was quite a bit of room for DOT to run. It's got some room for it to get to its 50% level. So if I switch to the weekly, we got some monthly resistance there, but look where its 50% level comes in. The 50% level comes in way up here at $29, and we're currently at 8. So we got room to go really, and that's the idea. I'm not particularly bullish on DOT. I wouldn't buy it spot position, but leverage I'm bullish on. So potentially 203%, 10x leverage, that's 2000%. Let's see how that goes. Phantom still got a lot of movement to go, so I'll be holding on my long there. Yeah, that's it really. ADA, you know, strong project as well. It's still got room to run, and it's coming out now. So let me have a look at the 4 hour time frame, because I think you're just gonna have to look short term at the moment, because what we kind of want to see, okay, this is ADA still. All right, it's gonna have a tough time battling through this. It's going to have a tough time battling through this. That's fine. But what we want to see for these alts to kind of run, or what I want to see and how I look at things, is what we want to see is Bitcoin at least hold this area and consolidate. That will give room for the alts to push up and catch up to Bitcoin. Because at the moment, Bitcoin's leading. Well, it was leading up until today. You can see here, total one Bitcoin slow down, 1.95%. If you exclude Bitcoin, it's 3.5. That's Ethereum and everything else. And then total free excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's moving up. That's 4%. So alts are moving right now. And you can tell on the banner of bubbles, that shit's moving. Shit's moving today on the hourly, AVAX. I do like AVAX as a project. But the tokenomics don't look too great. I like the idea of subchains and all of that. I think I talked about that in my previous video, but yeah. It's looking good. Fear and greed though is we're coming down in the greed, but prices are still going up. So a bit of divergence there, but markets can remain irrational longer than we can remain solvent. So yeah, we just need to keep an eye out on this. I just got my trades in. I've got my stop losses in, and if I see something else, then I'll jump in on it. You know what I mean? I'll jump in. But yeah, oh shit, so 131. My gosh, look at this. And it was only yesterday that I sold some of my ETH for Solana, and I sold some of my Bitcoin for Ethereum. Let's have a quick look at that ETH BTC chart. So ETH BTC, yep, so you know, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to be staggering in my bets for ETH BTC. We got this downsloping resistance line here. Downsloping resistance line since 2022, coming down. ETH is struggling to sort of break out of it, but it's trying, it's attempting it. So I'm going to be staggering my bets from up here, that 50% that I've got there, that red line, all the way to this monthly swing, which has been in play since for a while. Let's zoom out a little bit more. This swing here has been in place since 2015. So we've always sort of held that with Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So yeah, what I'm just going to be doing is somewhat staggering my bets along here. So 1 lot of cash, 2 lots of cash, and then 3 lots of cash more down here as we approach this white line here. ETH, BTC to ETH. It's hard selling your Bitcoin though. It's really hard selling your Bitcoin for ETH. But yeah, I'm less risk. I'm quite risk averse. So that's what I'm going to be doing with my Bitcoin, and then taking some leverage. But spot buys, I'm not buying yet. I'm not spot buying at the moment. I don't think I can spot buy yet. As I mentioned, I have 3 different trading portfolios. One is my spot, mainly Bitcoin and ETH. The ones that I trade in, which I trade in and out in, ETH to Sol, Sol to ETH, Bitcoin to ETH, all of that. And then I've got my leverage portfolio. So I'm mainly talking about these 2 portfolios here. Those are the main 2 portfolios I'm dealing with. But until we get a good pullback, a nice good pullback, I don't think I'll be looking to enter any new money into my larger portfolio. So yeah, because if you look at this monthly swing, we've just been up for months. It's the monthly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months up. Do you know what I mean? No retest of this 32k or anything like that. No pullbacks, nothing. So what would Bitcoin be if we was to get a severe pullback? What would that look like? So if this was the top at the moment, 50% comes in at 44k, 44.5. That's if it was there. If it was to pull back at the all-time high, then that 50% comes to 46.8. So yeah, I mean, and it can very well do that. Bitcoin could come back down here and consolidate for a little bit, and it'll still be bullish. But something like that would scare the market totally, and then it would reset this fear and greed index, hopefully coming down to like normal or something like that, neutral. And then I would consider putting some new money, some fresh money in. But we don't know. Bitcoin's bullish right now. You know, there's hella metrics. I think I read something the other day that said something like 900 Bitcoin or something like that's produced every day. But like the ETFs, are scooping up thousands, and then there's this guy that's buying like 100, has been buying 100 Bitcoin a day or something like that, and today and recently he's been buying 700 Bitcoin. So, you know, the demand is significantly outweighing the supply. So Bitcoin's king. Bitcoin's king, you know. Bitcoin is king. But yeah, yesterday I was looking at the alts getting ripped by Bitcoin, and look at the bounce today. Look at the bounce today. Yeah, so catching up on Bitcoin. That's looking good. So yep, looking good. Monthly chart. Look at these 50% levels. This is why the 50% work so well. Came up to the 50%, came back down onto the 50%. This is why it's good. That's why it's rotation time. It's rotation times. It hurts to sell a Bitcoin. It really does. But it's got to be done. ETH versus Solana. Where's ETH versus Solana? Because that's my usual rotation. In that trading portfolio, I like to have a big portion of it that's just kind of a relatively safe bet. So that's why I kind of mess around mainly with Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, because the fundamentals are so good. And look at it. This is Sol versus ETH. We hit the 50% here, and we're currently pushing up right now. So let me go on to a 4-hourly chart. Yeah, look at that. Remember I said I was doing that yesterday? 50%, and we're coming up. So let's continue to monitor it. Let's see how it goes.